Hi, this is a second video of lesson 3. For the better understanding about this two dimension, I put a little quick recap from previous video. So, again, in order to make a two-dimension situation, you need to involve with y component and x component. That's your one condition. Now, lesson 2, we learn about conservation of momentum in terms of one dimension, but still, we put in the way that our sum of initial momentum should be equal to my sum of final momentum. So we talk about these two situations, and basically we combine them together in previous one, except the only difference is, for example, if an object moved towards east and north, whether they stick together or not, especially if they stick together, then we need to think about our net vector, which is again combination of two of those momentum and finding out the net vector using tip to tail diagram. And since all the momentum is conserved in this situation, in isolated system where we don't have any external force occurring, we are basically using simple Pythagorean theorem and SOHCAHTOA to find out the angle, and these two are necessary. So that was a little bit of a recap of previous question and previous video. Now we are going to do one more example. This time it's slightly different. It is an explosion situation, and we may highlight some words in these sentences, so prepare your highlighter. It is available in my homework question number 5. I'm not doing any other classroom example question from example section. I wanted to do this question number 5 from homework question. So, let's get this started. A 120 kilogram bomb, which is initially at rest, explodes into 3 different pieces. The first one has a mass of 46 kilogram and is moving at 50 meters per second east, while the second piece has a mass of 27 kilogram and is moving 140 meters per second south. Determine the final velocity of the third piece. So, whenever you encounter this type of key clue, initially at rest, please have a side note in a way that, oh, that means it's a fancy way of saying my initial momentum is 0. And why is this significant? It is significant, folks, because we know that momentum is conserved in this situation, which means there's no doubt that our final momentum should always be 0 if initial was 0. Which means this gives us a little bit of a concept clue that everything should cancel out. Everything should cancel out. Now that's why, if you reread the question, it is asking our unknown third piece. So, let's do our drawing first. We will eventually do tip to tail, or just gonna draw this scenario into visual way and gonna predict. It's actually individual's call. In this video, I'm going to show you both. So first of all, initial, final. The drawing will be slightly different. Initially, nothing occur. This is my bomb. 120 kilogram bomb. However, if you read the second sentences, you may notice that I have, among these pieces, so I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit. Certain segment is basically traveling east. 50 meters per second east. Second piece, which travel faster, definitely 140 meters per second south. Now we're interested in this unknown question mark situation. Don't get scared, because even if generally people get scared when they encounter a question of going backward type, find out the unknown part rather than find out the net vector. Yes, indeed, those type of question is a little tricky. Diploma exam probably has one of those find out the unknown type of question too. However, if you get the conclusion from previous concept, which is my side writing over there, and everything should basically cancel out, we can get the conclusion in a way that, okay, since one of the pieces go east, one of the pieces goes south, there must be some kind of momentum that compensate these two and cancel these two, which is, now this is where our vector diagram occurs. Probably I need some kind of west momentum so that I can cancel this east momentum. And at the same time, similar reason, south momentum should be fight back or compensated by this north momentum. And now, look what happened in here, folks. We have our missing third piece's direction, which is technically momentum. And we need momentum in order to find the final velocity of the third piece. So, what I wrote or draw in red is a significant step. This is where the tip to tail diagram occurs. And we were able to draw this because we do know that conservational momentum, which is on the right side, they should cancel each other. So we know how to compensate, basically. So, since our drawing is done, let's find out. We do know that when it comes to this part, let's call P1 X, and then I put a little bit of hyphen so that it's final. Basically, we need to find this value and apply that amount to this west component momentum because they should cancel each other. The same logic applies for this P2 Y component, because whatever this momentum should bestow to my upgoing tip to tail diagram part. So if we find these two, then we can find our unknown hypotenuse by using Pythagorean theorem, which is the exact same repetition of question from previous one, except the scenario is completely different. So let's get this started. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna decide left up or west north. In this case, technically west and north is a correct way of notation, as positive and positive. And I'm gonna say this P1X, which is my M1 V1 final. So I use a little bit of a side hyphen in here. And basically we need to punch this number in. 120 kilogram, 46 kilogram, that was moving 50. If you calculate those two, you will get 2,300. Now, this give me a clue that my third X component is positive 2,300 kilogram meter per second. Again, just a reminder, everything should cancel each other in this case because initially we have nothing. So what I got from my negative in here will be turning into positive. Just one way of showing that it is opposite sign. They cancel each other. Let's do the same thing or a similar step for this one. Let's actually speed things up a little bit. The other mass was, is it 27 kilo? And know the fact that we decide going south, and don't forget, this gives us P3Y situation, except change the sign. Since we decided west and north as positive, there you go. Now we do know each of the x component and y component of the momentum. Yes, the question is asking velocity, but we need to find our momentum first. It is a little indirect process. If I redraw the situation, it's basically 3780, 2300, 90 degree. And here's our hypotenuse. Remember, a squared plus b squared equal to c squared, which is a fancy way of saying if I square opposite and adjacent, then square root, we're gonna get our P3, which is 4,425 kilogram meter per second. Now, we are very close to the answer. We are interested in finding out, technically not the momentum of the third piece per se. We're thinking about finding out the speed of it, which is, if you remember, P is equal to mv. If you isolate or derive v, it's actually P divided by m. So if you do 4,425 divided by our mass of the third pieces, if you wonder how you get the third pieces, well, originally the bomb was weighing 120. I had 46 kilo and I had 27 kilo. You will get the conclusion that it's actually 47 kilo that is left over. So always double check whether you're on the right track or not. I generally like to have units inside because unit analysis is actually really significant in physics 30. And we can always double check and have the fact that, oh, okay, it's only meter per second that is left over, which is velocity unit. And if I round it up to our final significant digit, it is 32.2 meter per second. Again, oh, sorry, my bad. Bad calculation. It's actually 94.1 meter per second. Sorry, folks. However, it is good to go now. But we are not done. We need to find an angle, which is, we can use our components over here. Then you get